Alright, so Mando Season 3 is finally here, and we have Episode 1, which was called The Apostate.
Very happy this show has finally came out.
Finally, after 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years
It's been
is
2
just
years
too
without
long.
Mando. Yeah. So we just started off with like a recap between like Mando Season 1 and Season 2, and then what happened in Book of Boba Fett. Just kind of getting everyone up to speed if they like forgot, or maybe they didn't watch like Book of Boba Fett and didn't see like how Grogu and Mando reunited.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm not telling anyone to watch Boba Fett now. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So we start out with the armorer working at her forge. She's making a helmet, like a tiny helmet. And so she works on that for a few scenes. It just kind of shows how she's crafting it. And then she walks outside, and we see there's a whole group of Mandos. I guess it's the whole Children of the Watch. Yeah. And it's like an induction ceremony. They're inducting this kid into the Children of the Watch. He's like saying the oath about how he won't remove his helmet and all that sort of stuff.
And they're all like playing drums and, having some ritual.
Yeah. Then right as they're almost done with it, the armorer stops the kid from talking, and then this giant like mix between a crocodile and like a turtle, because it had like a turtle shell, like it jumps out of the water and starts attacking them, and it actually eats a couple of the Mandos.
Whacks a couple of them around. They're shooting at it, like shooting flamethrowers, and nothing is penetrating.
Nothing's working.
Yeah.
No, they even fly up and put detonators on its back, and it doesn't do anything.
They try grappling it. Nothing's working.
And when all hope seems lost, and it's about to, it looks like kill Paz Vizsla.
Yeah.
Mando flies in with his N1 and shoots it like right in the side, and like blows it wide open, like guts and stuff kind of fly everywhere. And he lands, and then he just looks at him, and then it cuts.
And you get to see the N1 in action, which is really cool.
Yeah, I love that ship. I'm really glad he got it. So.
Looks so clean too with his like armor.
Very cool like color scheme.
Yeah. So after the cut, we see Mando talking to the armorer, and they're talking about trying to get back to Mandalore to redeem himself.
Yeah, he still wants redeemed for removing his helmet.
And the armorer's like saying you can't like redeem yourself, Mandalore's lost and all this.
Destroyed, yeah, it's poisoned like from the radiation of the Empire's bombing and everything. Like they wouldn't be able to he wouldn't be able to even reach the water to redeem himself.
Yeah. And
Din proves that it's not poison because he pulls out a like crystal relic from Mandalore. It's like a little artifact that has like some crystallized material around it. It's green, and he says he got it from Jawas, who got it from a mysterious traveler who had been on the planet. And so obviously, if he had been to the planet and didn't die,
be poisoned and stuff. So
yeah.
Long story short, the armor says this is the way, and
that he would be able to redeem himself in theory.
So we can see the new mission of this season is going to be getting on Mandalore and trying to get to the mines to bathe in the water or whatever, and
he says in the living waters,
yeah. And then we see Jin leave because he has a new mission, and he flies off to he's going in hyperspace, so he's in hyperspace now
to Navarro. Yeah.
And you get this really cool scene for like Grogu looking out, and you can see like some of those space whales from like Rebels.
From Rebels. Yeah, it's I think they're called Purgil. I think is how you say it.
Purgil, yeah. Something like that. And you see those in Rebels, and I'm not gonna say anything like this is gonna happen, but it's maybe hinting to like Ezra, and we already know Thrawn's involved.
Thrawn, yeah. Because that's how the two of them got lost at the end of the show. At the like season. Not even the season finale, just the finale of Rebels.
The Purgil were a big part in Rebels, and that's why I think they might be hinting towards like Ezra possibly.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Or at least Thrawn, because we already know Thrawn's
we know
somewhat
Thrawn's
involved.
Yeah. So
After that, we arrive at Navarro. We see how like developed it has become. There's tons of life. There's tons of different like aliens and stuff, which I really like. I saw like Mon Calamari. There was like the monkey lizards, like Salacious Crumbs.
It's the gem of the Outer Rim now.
Yeah, and while they're walking through the town, they admire the IG-11 statue, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Like Mando and Grogu just kind of remembered that. And then Greef comes out from the crowd and is like, Mando, like he always is. And we find out he's a high magistrate now. So he's kind of like
the boss.
Head of the city, kind of like the mayor or governor, if you want to call it that. But they started talking. Navarro is an official trade spur of the Hydian Way, which I thought was really cool. That's just like, for those of you who don't know, it's just like the main hyperspace kind of route things. You learn about it in Clone Wars a little bit.
It's a destination that a lot of people go to.
Yeah, they use that route to travel, like the main places and whatnot. We see Grogu's more comfortable with the Force because he's using it to like spin himself around in the chair and like grab candy and stuff. So like you see he's definitely become more comfortable. Like it doesn't make him pass out and stuff anymore, which I thought was cool. Greef's trying to get Din to settle down. He's like offering him land. He's like, you can just stay here, you'd be all right.
And the reason
I thought was also cool.
The reason for that is because Din is in need of a new marshal. And
Greef's in need of a new marshal.
Grease, yeah, sorry. And it's because
Cara Dune.
Yeah, Cara Dune. She's no longer obviously in the show. And
the reason that they gave for that is that she just got hired by Special Forces after Turney and Gideon.
That's definitely better than like her being dead.
And just like killing her off or something. Yeah, like
there's not much more they can really do about that.
No, it is what it is. So Greef also learned Grogu's name. He didn't really have much of a reaction to it, but he did learn that it was Grogu, and he was just like, oh, okay. So not that he would really care that much, but while they're talking, they arrive in the courtyard. When they go down there, Greef knows one of them. His name's Vane.
They said they mentioned the boss.
They work for the Pirate King Gorian Shard. I think that's how you say it.
Okay.
I think that's how you pronounce it. I might be a little off, but the pirates basically just want to drink in the old saloon, which is now a school, and they're like demanding to be brought drinks and everything, and they're saying how like Greef might have gone soft and whatnot. And then we have this cool like little Western duel, which is cool. Like Greef and Vane have a standoff, and they both draw. Greef's faster. He disarms him. He shoots him in the hand, and then when you think it's over, the rest of Vane's gang try to pull guns, but Mando kills all of them. So, and I thought that was pretty sick.
It is, And then they just send Vane away, like they let him live to like spread the message.
Like send a message.
And then they go back to the IG statue because Mando like tells Greef that he cannot stay and he has to do this mission, so he needs like a partner. So then,
and he wants a droid that he can trust.
He wants a droid that he can trust, and we know obviously the only droid he really trusts is like IG-11.
And then Graves thinks he's crazy because he's like, well, he's basically destroyed from when he self-destructed. So
and then he says like the statue has some of the actual parts of him, which I thought was.
I didn't know that.
Like I would think like more parts would be gone.
Yeah, like the fact that it was his upper half that was still alive, which is where the bomb was. It's kind of weird that that's the part that's intact. I guess it's not that big of a deal. They might have like recovered the pieces and welded it together. But I don't know. I thought that was kind of bizarre.
They take it off the statue though, and they're trying to like repair it or at least give him power. And he does turn on, but then he like goes back to his default.
It was the original programming, the bounty hunter
where he tries to kill Grogu.
So it was kind of like a little horror scene because he was like crawling around, like only half of him and everything. And of course his armor plating, like they couldn't just shoot him because it just kept reflecting. I thought that was cool.
They just dropped like a statue on him, or at least the droid does.
Protocol droid. I'm not even sure he did it on purpose. He might have just been like afraid and was moving, and it just happened to fall. but I thought that was kind of funny too because it was actually a bust of Grief Karga.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny. But
and then they need to still get the IG repaired because Mando wants a partner and he only trusts that droid. So then Grief takes him to some droid smiths, I believe.
Yeah. They're called the here, I have it written down here. Let me find it. The Anzellans, which is actually Babu Frick's species.
Which we saw in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, in Rise of Skywalker.
And they're all small, so they have like a little small workplace.
Yeah, and, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, Mando has to like get inside there, and they can't repair IG without a memory chip.
Yeah, memory circuit.
Yeah,
which is apparently super rare and hard to find.
I don't know how that's really rare and hard to find. Isn't that how they make like
all the droids? I don't know.
I don't get.
Maybe
that
it's
part.
his specific model. Probably.
Maybe, yeah. And then Mando says he's gonna go try and find it. So, yeah, he goes off.
Then, and while they're flying, Mando's like kind of teaching Grogu lessons, like of like how to operate the ship, like what this means, what that dial means, and whatnot, which I thought was cool. Kind of shows like the almost like adoptive father aspect of him.
Yeah.
And then while they're doing that, Vane and a couple of the other gang members return in ships, and they start chasing him, which I thought was really cool. I love the whole
the scene and everything.
Space battle with the asteroid field and stuff. Like
you get to see Mando like pop out of random places and like shoot
that's
them.
exactly what I was gonna say. Like ambushing them one by one from the asteroids, and like each time he did it, the music.
I was just playing like
drop.
I was really just thinking Jaws in the back of my head. I was like playing that theme song.
Yeah, it was very cool. I loved seeing him like use that, and he was so much faster, and his ship's so much more nimble. So
he's obviously a better pilot. It's like
oh yeah, clearly.
Yeah, he picks them all off except for Vane, and then Vane like brings Mando back.
He like
to the
lures
main
him
ship.
back to the main ship, and we see the leader. We see Gorian Shard, and he is literally like Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
He was just like a mossy swamp guy.
Yeah.
It was very weird.
He had a bunch of
people
cool on the ship though, so he's obviously powerful.
Yeah. He clearly has a lot of influence and all, but he was very interesting looking, to say the least.
Yeah.
When Mando looks like he's cornered, he just engages like the N1's
Boost
basically super speed, the boost. Yeah, because we saw that in Book of Boba Fett. And it basically gets him up to speed so fast that he can just like launch into hyperspace immediately. So he's able to escape. We knew, and right before he does that too, he says, like,
never trust a pirate.
Yeah, never trust a pirate to Grogu, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And then once they come out of hyperspace, they arrive at their final destination of the episode, which is Calvela.
Yeah,
is that how you say it?
I believe so. And there is a Mando castle on it.
It's in the Mandalorian. It's another planet in the Mandalorian system, which is very cool. And the Mandalorian castle was epic. It was very cool. And there was actually a droid stationed outside of it too that kind of had the same logo on its chest, like the Mandalorian armor.
Mandalorian armor.
Yeah.
And the logo, and then there was no people though. There was no actual Mandalorian.
No, it was just the one droid, and then we later find out who's inside, and we find out why there's no people.
Yeah.
So he goes inside. The hallway was very similar to like the Mandalore throne room from like Clone Wars. It looked very similar in design, which I guess makes sense. And then down the hall, we actually see Bo-Katan. We finally get to see her again, and she's sitting on like the little throne of
like
this castle.
Down.
Yeah, kind of like all just relaxed. And we find out no one else is there because after she returned without the Darksaber, all her forces left. Like they didn't respect her anymore, and they just
shows the loyalty.
They just abandoned her completely. And even the fleet that they stole at the end of season 2, like the Imperial stuff, they said they took that too, and they were using it to be basically like mercenaries and stuff.
Yeah.
So she's completely alone, and you can tell she's upset about it. Like she's annoyed at Mando for having the Darksaber and everything, and she even asks him if he still has it. And after a little bit of talking, Din convinces her to tell him where the mines are located, and they're beneath the city ruins of Sunduri, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the cities we might have seen it in either Clone Wars or Rebels. I think probably.
So now we know where the mines are and where Mando has to go,
and where he's going to go.
We know.
And
we
then
know
as
Bo-Katan's not going to help him.
Obviously, she's very upset with him. It's clear there's tension between the two of them. And I mean, as he's walking away, she says goodbye, Mando, in like a very kind of
he says goodbye.
Sinister.
She says goodbye, Din Djarin.
Yeah. And it's like there's clear disdain and everything, and I don't know if that's because she sent him to like his death, maybe like fake coordinates or something, or if it's just like she thinks since the planet is poisoned and everything, it's a suicide mission.
Option,
yeah. And maybe because she asked him if he still had the Darksaber, maybe she'll like try to recover that from him if he does die or something. I don't know if she would do that, but
she probably would. I mean, she wants the Darksaber.
Yeah, I mean, she's completely alone. She's got nobody. They all left her. So
that's kind of crazy. Like, no one stayed with her.
I mean, they were loyal to her because they thought she was worthy to lead them, but when she lost it, I mean, that's their whole thing. So
that's true.
I don't know. But after that, after she says goodbye, Din Djarin, and we see like Mando kind of shake his head like he kind of hurt her, it cuts to black, and that's that. That's the end of episode 1.
It's a great episode to start out Mando, though. I love that they incorporated like actual showing us what happened to the other Mandalorians.
Yeah.
At the start of the episode.
Real quick, I'm not sure if we mentioned it. I might have accidentally skipped it over. But when we found out Cara Dune was recruited by Special Forces, we also find out that Gideon was sent off to a New Republic War Tribunal, so he's on trial, for his crimes and stuff. Yeah. So I wonder how we'll. Yeah, he's not dead. They stopped him from killing himself in the finale of the last one. So
right now, like the main bad guy is that Pirate King.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just kind of a side thing. I feel like the very end of the episode kind of sets up Bo to be kind of an antagonist.
Either her or they have to bring in Thrawn again at some point.
I think Thrawn will be the bigger bad, almost like the Thanos.
It depends
kind of
how long
Marvel was.
Yeah, it depends how long they carry out this show. Because I mean, by the end of this season, if they don't bring up Thrawn more, then we're looking for a long show to come. So
yeah, but I also think I don't know, they might save Thrawn more for the Ahsoka show too, because that's ties
true.
In more directly with that stuff. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I think Bo will definitely be an antagonist because she's gonna want the Darksabers. It's clear that they're not on necessarily the same side.
Yeah,
they're not direct enemies, but they're not on the same side.
They both want Mandalore to be safe, but like they don't like each other.
Very different views. Yeah. Yes. So, but what would you rank this episode?
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
I also gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I really liked it. It was a solid start. It's why I enjoy.
I like seeing
Mandalorian as a show. Yeah.
And then we also get to see like how Greef was doing. That's really cool, and I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with like IG-11 and.
I am too. It's cool that he's gonna come back.
Yeah. So and Mando has a lot of things to do before he can get to Mandalore. So. Yeah,
because he's not gonna go there without IG. So we'll probably pick up with him. Going after the memory circuit.
And he's probably gonna find pirates while doing that, so that's probably
he's gonna run into issues while doing that for sure, especially if it's as hard to come by as they say. Which, the more I think about it, it makes sense that it's hard to find because IG-11 was a hunter droid, and they aren't in production anymore, so it's probably an illegal item. So
that's true. Yeah, maybe he'll get it from the pirates. Who knows?
Maybe. I don't know. He'll probably have to do some kind of shady dealing or something. We'll see. But it was a solid episode. Really enjoyed it.
Hoping for Ezra.
You all, I'm hoping for Thrawn. I really want to see Thrawn.
Ezra. They brought in the whales or the Purrgil. So yeah.
Yeah. But that's it for this little discussion and review. If you enjoyed it, maybe consider dropping a like and subscribing. We'd really appreciate it.
It helps us out a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
And we
we'll
have a
catch
lot of
you-
content
Yeah.
coming. So
More Bad Batch and obviously more Mandalorian.
we got Visions in May as well. Visions
Mhm.
season 2.
Yeah, a
And
lot of things to come.
Ahsoka possibly in the fall of 2023. So
We'll keep you guys updated.
Yep.
See you guys next time.
Yep. See ya.